meeting to order at 6:35. And the first matter on the agenda is, do we do roll call? I think we should do a roll call, right?
Sure.
Okay.
We do not do roll call usually.
Do you think, I think we should, right? Oh, let's just do it. Karen Kravitz, Chair.
Stephanie Charleglio, Commissioner.
Bruce Mandel is here.
Mike or Mike?
Mike Safarine's there.
Mike Horton? Others present?
Present.
Just say your name, please.
Joe Crisco.
Okay.
Nate Case is here.
Joe Capucci's here.
Okay. And Tina?
Tina O'Connor's here.
All right. Anybody else on the call? Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Nancy.
And do we have Mike Horton? Okay. All right. Next item on the agenda is liaison comments. I don't believe we have Susan. Joe?
Yeah, thank you all for your service and keep up the good work.
Thank you, Joe. And Nate?
We're all set. Thank you.
Okay. All right, try one more time for Susan Jacobs. Okay, the chairman's report. I don't have anything independent of Sean's report. COVID-19 update.
All right, COVID-19 update. We're still getting people in town that are coming back positive. When got tested, they're coming back positive. In the last week, I think we got 8 or 10 people that was reported to us. The week before that, we probably had about the same. So people are still getting it. It's on a much slower pace now because everybody's getting vaccinated. I think once everybody gets vaccinated, I think we're starting to see it turn for the better. It's gotten a lot better. Like everybody heard, the governor's going to start opening more things up next month. I think May 1st, he opens it up. And then again, May 19th or May 21st, almost everything is open full bore with the exception of still wearing masks inside and stuff like that. Everybody here is doing good. And we had a whole boatload of people come off of our COVID list. They stay, once you have COVID and we get notified, it stays on our list for 90 days. So just recently, we had a lot of people drop off of that list. So we're doing pretty good on the COVID front. We have Willie cleaning the firehouse 19 hours a week. We had Ercolano in here 2 days a week cleaning. We knocked Ercolano back down to one day a week where we were before COVID. So I don't think it's necessary to have Ercolano in here at this point 2 days a week. So we'll try to be a little budget conscious now and try to save a little bit there. But with that being said, before COVID, we had Ercolano 1 day a week. We did not have Willie at all. And moving forward, we're going to keep Ercolano the 1 day a week and keep Willie the 19 hours a week like we have him. And we're funded, I believe it's through next year like that also. So we should be in an okay shape. I can't remember whether they stopped the funding as of December 31 and then we just have to go back and request it, or it's funded through fiscal year 22. So that's my report on COVID. Any questions?
I assume everybody that can be or is willing to be is vaccinated in the department.
Yeah, everybody's gotten vaccinated within the department. Their families are working on getting vaccinated. I don't even know anybody. I don't know, Nate, do you know anybody that didn't get vaccinated? As far as I know,
I'm not aware of any. No, that's correct.
Yeah, I think everybody got vaccinated, which is good. We had a couple of people at the beginning hold out because it was still so new. Remember, we got notified of this back in late December, and that's when the vaccinations were just coming out and they were just receiving them. So it was, people were a little nervous about doing it, but everybody ended up doing it. If they didn't sign up right away, they signed up within the next couple of weeks in January. So we're pretty good in that front.
Excellent. Anybody else have any questions about COVID?
Nope.
Okay, review current financial statements.
So the current financial statements, I don't have them in front of me tonight, but what I can do is I can tell you that I had a discussion with Tony last week, finance director, to go over some of the line items, one of them being the cleaning line item. I told him that because we were going to go over again, and the Board of Selectmen, Board of Finance just allocated more money to put into our cleaning line item. And we wouldn't even have enough based on everything that's going to get us through the end of June. But I told them we cut back to our Galano 1 day a week, and that should cover the overages that were there. So we're okay on that line item. The other line item we're going to keep an eye on is the hydrant. We think we got it all straightened out. We were over on that line item. We're trying to reallocate some money, move some stuff around to cover it. So the hydrant is an interesting line item. So when you look at our whole budget, I think it's like 92,000, something in that area, that we have to pay for the hydrants. So we don't have a choice on this. It's based on the mileage of pipe that's in the road, and it's so much per foot. It's like I'm going to say like 0.8 percent of a penny or whatever for pipe in the road that we have to pay for just to have access to the water. We don't pay for the water we actually use, but we need to pay to have access to the hydrants. So I know people question that all the time, but that's exactly what that is. That's out of our hands. It's just something when the bill comes in, whatever what it is what we have to pay. The other important thing to mention and understand in that whole item also is we pay for all the fire service connection charges associated with the town of Woodbridge. So we pay for the fire department here, 100 Center Road. We pay for the center building. We pay for the library. We pay for public works. We pay for town hall. We pay for, I think it's Beecher Road School also. So we pay all those fire connection fees, and they range anywhere from $500-600 all the way up to a couple $1,000s per building. So it's not a couple $100 and we're done, but that's per individual building that has that, and that comes out of our budget. So when people look at our budget and they say, oh, the fire department budget's up, but we're also covering expenses in other departments for buildings that are coming out of our budget, just so we're on the same page here.
John, I just want to be clear. You pay for the fire hydrants to be connected. You don't pay for all of their water, right?
We don't pay for their water. We pay for access to have water at the hydrant when we need it.
Got it.
The other line that we're going to keep an eye on, and which we're actually doing really good this year, which I'm surprised, and I don't really have an answer why. Could be our outstanding engineering department, but we're probably going to go over budget a little bit, but we'll try to cover it within our budget. And the repair maintenance line, if you remember last year, the year before, we were going in January to the Board of Selectmen, Board of Finance. And last year we had to go and ask for $30,000 out of contingency. And we took that and we barely got through last year. So this year we haven't requested any money out of contingency to cover that line. And I'm hoping, since we're in the end of April, coming into May, we might be able to get through with monies in different line items to cover if we do go over on that line. And if we need something, it's going to be minimal this year. It's not going to be anywhere near what we've been pulling the last few years for that line item. So that's some good news.
Excellent.
But that being said, I don't want you to think that that line is going to either have money or we're going to be okay. We might be okay with pulling monies from other lines if we have some money left over. So that's basically the financial report. Are there any questions? I'm sorry I don't have it in front of you guys tonight. I'll make sure it's next month.
Okay. Sorry, that's my dog. Hey.
Okay.
Fire chief's report.
Okay, so going on with the budget a little bit. So the trucks are going out for service for the routine preventative maintenance, basically getting an oil change, lubing up the truck, filter changes. Just remember, when we go send the truck out for an oil change, it's not like going down the Jiffy Lube for $39.95 a month, $39.95 for an oil change. Our oil changes are anywhere between usually $750 and $1,500 depending on what they're doing. So we're okay with that. The issue came in with engine 9. Remember, engine 9 is the truck we're actually currently working on replacing. It is a 1995, so we're already 26 years into this truck. And if you remember correctly, engine 7, when it was 24 years, and we had a lot of big issues with that. Engine 9, we've been band-aiding it for the last few years, trying to get by. So we don't have a bunch of payments in 1 year, but truck went out. It's got basically the 2 pipes coming off the back, the 2 stainless pipes coming off the rear of the engine are rotted. They have to be replaced. They go directly into the tank. So they're currently working on that. We have some other issues, some other rot issues that they have to do on engine 2. And we also, just to go on with engine 9, we also band-aided the generator that's on that truck. And sooner than later, I'm hoping we get approval. Once we have the bid spec complete, we'll send it out to HGAC like we did with engine 3. And we'll get that back, go to the Board of Selectmen, Board of Finance, hopefully for approval, and get that ordered this year at some point, sooner than later. Because it doesn't make sense to start dumping. We're going to be starting to dump big money into a truck that's already 26 years old, basically past its lifespan. So we don't really want to dump 15, 20 grand into a truck that we have to get rid of anyway. Engine 2, which is a 2003 E1. We have a packing that went bad, a main packing underneath the pump. Basically, they have to pull that apart and fix it. And that could range anywhere between probably $3,000 to $5,000. So we're working on that. I'm trying to prolong that as much as I can. The issue that I have with it is, as long as it's not dripping, we're okay. The problem is when it starts to drip, and I'd be okay with the drip until we get to the next budget cycle. But like I told Tony, the issue is if it starts dripping, I got to move the truck outside. Otherwise, we're going to be filling the oil water separator, and we have to pump the oil water separator at a cost of, last time we pumped it was about $2,700. So we would fix the truck before we would have to pump the tank. So we're keeping an eye on that and trying to get by with that. But there's other issues going on with some of the other trucks that we have to get fixed. So this is where we are. Overall, though, the equipment is in pretty good shape. We're on top of it. It's just we're trying to be a little budget conscious, trying to get everything completed, or wait until if we could push it off a little bit, we will, and deal with it next year. The fire department did a fundraiser this past Saturday. We did a pulled pork dinner. It was great. We sold something in the low 80s, 82, 83 dinners, which was good. Guys all contributed. People that came were extremely thankful and happy we were doing something like this. So like I said a month or two ago to you guys, the money we're making is to offset the cost of the shed in the back that the association agreed to put up $100,000 to help build.
I just want to say, as I shared with Sean before the meeting started, I thought the dinner was fantastic. The whole contact list delivery was very carefully thought out and executed. It was delicious and a very nice event. So thank you very much for doing that. I know that was a ton of work.
It was wonderful, Sean, and I think you should do another one because the food was so good.
Thank you. Another thing is we had a couple motor vehicle accidents a couple of weeks ago. Just so everybody knows, they were basically about an hour apart from each other. We had, and originally they were both possibly fatals. Both parties survived, so that's good. We had one that came in around a little after 4 a.m. We had an individual that was ejected from his vehicle and ended up underneath his vehicle. His legs were underneath his own vehicle, and he was out there for a couple hours banging on the hood of his car until somebody heard him and called 911, and the cop ended up finding him with his car on top of him. We had to lift the car off the individual. We transported him. We didn't know if he was going to make it, possibly compartment syndrome, crush injuries. So he wasn't going to end up making it while we were there. And we just got done with that. We were cleaning that call up. We're putting the equipment away. We got toned out for a motor vehicle accident with an arm amputation on 69. Arrived on scene. We had to apply a tourniquet to the individual. He did lose his right hand. His right hand was gone when we got there. He lost his eye and some other facial injuries and some other injuries that he did sustain due to it. During the investigation, we had Joe come out. We determined that the car actually exploded, and I'm going to have Joe go into that during his report. In 25 years, I've never seen that happen before. But when you look at the car, the car actually blew out. It didn't. It wasn't like he hit anything. So it was an interesting call, and we had 2 back-to-back calls like that. So within an hour apart of each other, and everybody did great. The car was fully involved when we got there. The individual got out of its own vehicle. Bystanders dragged them away, started helping them with first aid. Guys got there, they put the fire out, and that's about it. We had a couple car fires over last week and over the weekend up on the Parkway. And we had a decent sized brush fire on Friday over by Karen's house off of Forest Glen, which we needed mutual aid for to assist us because we were up on the Parkway putting a car fire out and doing an extrication when the brush fire came in. So we had a couple guys go to that other call, and we had the help of Bethany come down and give us a hand with the brush fire. So.
Well, I just want to make a comment that especially that day when you had those 2 horrible accidents back to back, first of all, thank you so much for your sacrifice and service. Second of all, I think that your skills and training and expertise paid off and that you were able to save both of their lives. And I think you and the department should be commended for your efforts.
Thank you. We worked well with the police department and the medic that day, also that morning. So everything went well. So as best as it could. So, and that is about my report for the month. Oh, we just an update on the shed. I think the shed is going to the Board of Selectmen because I think the Board of Selectmen wanted to add another item on for the bonding, and I think it's the demolition of the country club. I'm not 100% sure. So I think they might want to add that on. They're not sure, but I think they're going to talk about that in May. And once they decide that, hopefully they'll pick a referendum date in June for that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Joe, Fire Marshal's report.
Okay. Out 65 times, 43 inspections, 8 consulting. I was out doing some pre-fire planning this month. I worked on the Route 69 investigation 6 different times. And then I had an attorney call about the Katz's fire. I did 2 plan reviews. And I usually call on Thursdays to find out how our guy is doing because we want to speak to him, the guy from Route 69. He was still intubated last week when I called. So I want to talk to him to find out what exactly was going on in the car. But we had a debris field maybe 200 feet north of where the car came to rest. The roof blew off it. The sides of the car blew off it. And we found bones in the street, pieces of skin.
Oh,
And the car went down the road on fire, jumped the curb and hit the embankment on the side of the road. And somebody pulled him out, or he got out on his own. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but he was out of the car. I believe, Chief, somebody from Bethany Fire was working on him before the chief got there.
Yeah, somebody from Bethany Fire was there, and we assisted him in applying the tourniquet and getting him onto the ambulance to get him transported.
We impounded the car till we could figure out what happened. Some of the stuff in the car we're looking at, I have it in my evidence room, and the car is impounded over at the police department. We just want to talk to him. I don't think it's anything suspicious, but I've been doing this a long time. I never seen a car blow up like that, So once we can get over to talk to him, it'll probably answer a lot of questions we have. But that's about all I could say because the investigation's still ongoing at this time.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Anything else under your report?
No.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is executive session for a dispatch update. Can I have a motion to go into executive session, and who do we want to invite into that? Joe, Nate, Sean?
Sure.
Okay, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
A
Okay, who was
second?
that? Who made the motion?
Stephanie,
Sorry, who made?
it was Stephanie.
Thank you.
I second it, Karen. It's Bruce.
Thank you, Bruce. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None opposed. Motion passes unanimously, and we're in executive session.
Do you want to, WGA-TV, you want to tell them that you think there's going to be action after this, or you think we're going to?
Well, we have the meeting approval. So the minutes, the approval of the minutes that we'll do after.
Okay, so we'll come back.
Okay.
All right.
I'm sorry. So do you want to? Are you going to let us know when we have to dial back in so we can approve the meeting minutes, or?
Yes, we'll send an email, Sean, or a text, or we should have passed it, but I didn't. So,
You want to just do this quick and then go into executive session so they don't have to dial back in?
all right, let's do that. All right, let's
You guys
suspend
okay
the
with that?
executive session for a moment. All right. And
Yeah, I'm good with that, Sean.
okay.
Yeah,
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the February 8th meeting?
I'll make a motion. Stephanie.
Second, Bruce.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the March 15th, 2021 meeting?
Yep, I'll make a motion. Stephanie.
Second, Bruce.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, and with that, we are now in executive session.